Well, all right, all right, all right. Happy Monday. This is Coach Lois here with a special Healthy and Wealthy and Wise monologue. I decided that I'm actually going to kick Mondays off with a monologue meditation every week for the next 12 weeks as we are heading into the final quarter of 2022. Can you believe this? The final quarter of 2022, and I love my weekends. I get a lot of downloads, a lot of meditation, a lot of intention. I also was microdosing, and some really, really powerful, deep messages came through. And I want to be able to share inspiration, Mindset Monday, and different messages that come through to me on the weekend. And this particular one was very, very, very powerful. And I wrote about it, and I wanted to talk about it today just to support people as we go through this last quarter, and the messages that I've learned, things that I've personally experienced and I've seen with my clients as a transformational coach. So I had asked the question, when or what happens when you lose yourself? Have you ever thought about that? And why did this up? Because I had this journey starting about 2 years ago when I really realized that something was not right, that I had gotten out of balance. I had gotten out of harmony with my truth. I didn't know that's what it was at the time. I had to go through the journey. A lot of things happened for that were really, really intense, painful at times. And through that journey, about a year in, so the part of 2021, I started asking myself these questions because they were coming up for me, recognizing that I had been kind of on autopilot. I'd been stuck in what is called the proverbial hamster wheel. And I'd studied this podcast with Tara Brach, and she talks a lot about compassion and loving yourself. And I realized, wow, that was the root cause, the dis-ease, the basic core. Like if you think of a tree and the roots in the ground, when I pulled up that tree of self-sabotage, or that tree of numbing behaviors, or that tree of just dissatisfaction, I realized I had lost sight of that core value of mine. And I believe it's for most everyone: self-love and self-compassion. And a lot of us, I'm going to speak autographically, but then I'll speak to what I've seen and heard with a lot of clients. A lot of people are recognizing this and waking up to this fact that they've been so busy working, going for goals, going for dreams. Oftentimes that causes us to live in the future or the past, right? I do teach a lot on goal setting, and intention setting is what I call it now. And then we lose sight of the day-to-day, the important things, the healthy boundaries, the taking care of ourselves, putting our oxygen mask on first. I know myself as a parent, homeschooling, as a wife, as a business owner, right? And so what happened was for me, and then I'm going to challenge you guys to meditate on this. So it's mindset, but also meditation Monday, starting your week off with something that can help you really go deep within, if this resonates, and tune in. If you have found yourself kind of in an autopilot hamster wheel, do you slow down enough to tune in and ask yourself, am I loving myself enough? Because I started asking other people this question. I realized, thanks to the help of Tara Brach's podcasts about self-love and self-compassion, is I wasn't taking time to love myself. So I'd ask questions to other people, how do you love yourself? And they'd be like, huh? Or I'd phrase it this way: how do you show kindness to yourself? And still people were confused by that question, realizing, oh, wow, I don't know. And I realized because I had been so busy, go, 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 push, 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 more in that left side of the brain, the masculine energy side, the analytical side for so long, I got lost in it. That's what caused me to really hate myself. That's kind of a strong word. However, it's where I was a year ago, guys. Because for probably about 10 years, at least 7, but probably like 10. So from like at least 2014 to 2021, I got caught up in the numbers. I got caught in the external world. And so I started asking those questions. How can I love myself? And a lot of the answers were self-care, going within, really asking myself some deep, deep questions. And as I went through that process, there was some painful stuff along the way. I'll totally transparent. I discovered some subconscious limiting beliefs. If you followed my podcast for quite some time, I talked about wrestling with shame, guilt, started to really study radical forgiveness, radical acceptance, and radical love. It came all back to loving myself. Because if you don't love yourself, it can really be painful. You can get lost in other people's goals, society's goals for you, maybe your family's goals for you. That's what happened for me. And I see it a lot of times. A lot of people, especially when the pandemic hit and we went in online space, a lot of people, including myself, were in freak out mode and looking outside of ourselves for the answers, buying all these courses, signing up for all these things, right? And all the answers truly lie within if you love yourself through that process of self-discovery, personal inward journey. I now call it super conscious creation. I didn't call it that a year ago, but that's what I call it now. Falling in love with your inner self, your higher self, your intuition, your super conscious, whatever you want to call it. Guess what happened? That by removing that root cause of the self-sabotage, the autopilot, the busy, 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 the go, 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 by putting my oxygen mask on first, otherwise known as truly loving myself, forgiving myself, accepting, I was able to rediscover my truth. In fact, I'm still rediscovering. Again, I'm on this journey with you guys. My numbing behaviors started to go away. My self-sabotaging limiting beliefs, I made them my friends, my allies, so that if I started noticing even the numbing behaviors, if I started noticing them creep back in, guess what? That was a sign that I was out of alignment, that I was not in my truth, that I wasn't loving myself. Sometimes we beat ourselves up for making mistakes. We beat ourselves up for these numbing behaviors. However, guess what? If you make them your friends and you ask them, okay, too much time on Facebook, or too much alcohol in my case, or too much work, or avoiding doing things on your list that are really important to you, but you keep pushing them off, right? Those are all examples of numbing behaviors. Sleeping too much. I mean, I could go on and on, but the point is they're trying to tell you something. And usually they're a sign that you're not loving yourself and putting yourself first. So every time something happens for me now that seems to like cause me to go a little nutty, or like fear creeps in, or those limiting beliefs creep in, I'm like, oh, hi, there you are. You're here to remind me to love myself, to go inward. And the more I do that, the more I slowed down and created more spaciousness in myself first, and then around me in my day to day. It changed me. It helped me show up differently. So then it impacted my family, my relationship with my husband, my kids. We have so much more fun now because I love myself. I give myself time. Gave myself time to heal, gave my time to meditate more, to chant, to do more singing, more things that are filling my cup, right? That self-care, that self-love. And then I could show up as my highest and best version of myself. It also caused me to not be triggered as much, by worldly events, external events. I recently, hanging out with people in person, and I see how much they are triggered by external events, and I am still too. I'm still human. However, how long I stay triggered has come way, 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 way down. Because I realize again, the triggers are a sign for me to go inward, ask myself, okay, what is this bringing up for me? Is it triggering an old wound? Is it triggering a limiting belief or a numbing behavior? And then I send myself love, hang out in my heart space. I have other techniques that I can teach you and you'll be learning more and more about. However, it really, really has helped me work through a lot of things. And so I share that with you today for you to maybe be challenged by it, wrestle with it. Is how are you loving yourself? Have you ever noticed or thought about that? I want you to think about that this week. Loving and accepting yourself as you are, giving yourself compassion and love was the key to my own personal dis-ease, my own health issues, my own weight loss. People ask me, how'd you lose the 30 pounds, Lois? And I said, it's not a diet. It's not keto. It's not anything that you might actually think about because they're not selling it on Facebook or they're not selling it on TV or the infomercials, right? It was just as simple as loving myself and choosing me first, setting healthier boundaries and going through that process. So that's my challenge for you as we wrap it up here today is tune in with yourself and ask yourself, how do I love myself? How do I create more spaciousness for me? How do I choose me first? That's the most important thing. Hey, Robin, I just saw you. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Great to see you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in live. And I just want to close just to remind you guys of a few things. We have one more podcast this week for this month. Suicide Awareness Month is still on. And this message goes to that message as well. The Suicide Awareness Month, the Mental Health Month. It's just reminding you to choose you first. I'm also launching a brand new name of my lower level subscription, my subscriber base. So it's Healthy and Wealthy and Wise subscription. So if you guys want more support to go within to really truly have guidance on how to love yourself, because I feel like most people have forgotten. Because truly loving yourself is the answer. Not buying another course, not going, necessarily through all these external answers. All of your answers lie within. And so the Healthy and Wealthy and Wise lower level subscription, because I do have a higher level option as well. That's where you start. If you don't know how to love yourself, if you don't know where to begin to unpack all of the things that maybe have led you astray, like myself was lost and dazed and confused for almost 10 years. This is my gift back to the world. For just $77 a month, you can be a part now of my Health, Wealthy, and Wise subscription, where we return you back to love, to your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom. So you can tune into now that. Send me a message if you have any questions about that. I'm actually finalizing the links and all of that today and tomorrow, so you can learn more about that. So have a great week. Until I see you again, have a great Monday. Here's to your best health, your best wealth, and your best wisdom. Bye-bye for now.